The following is a special presentation of Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims, alternating the reality of sports and entertainment since 2020. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our 13th week of the HTFL. 6 more weeks to go. After this, Big Pauly coming to you. Actually, it'll be 5 more weeks to go after this. This is an 18-week season. We'll quickly go over the standings and the league leaders going into the 13th week of the season. In the East, Washington, who we're just about to see to play Pittsburgh, is 9-3. Pittsburgh a game back 8-4. New York 8-4. New England 7-5. Baltimore 6-6. Buffalo 5-7. Pittsburgh and Philadelphia and Carolina don't really have a chance at 2-10. Although I imagine things could happen and they could get back in it. In the South, Dallas is now tied with Tampa Bay 8-4. Atlanta and Miami one back at 7-5. Houston 6-6. New Orleans 5-7. Jacksonville 4-8, and Tennessee taking up the rear 1-11. They had the worst worst record in the HTFL right now. Chicago is leading the North 10-2. Cleveland 9-3, and then you got Cincinnati, Minnesota at 8-4. Detroit 6-6, St. Louis 5-7. Green Bay has really been struggling at 4-8, and Indianapolis 3-9. In the West, San Francisco 10-2, 2 over Denver at 8-4, with 6 to play. Vegas at 7-5, Kansas City now 7-5, and then you got a whole bunch of uglies in the Western Division. Arizona and San Diego 4-8, Seattle and surprisingly Los Angeles at 3-9. Your leading rated passer right now is Sid Luckman at 104.1. Tom Brady right behind at 103.9. Adrian Peterson leading in rushing at 1296. Thomas of New Orleans has the most catches, 92. Earl Campbell, Walter Payton, and Jim Brown all have 14 touchdowns to lead scoring amongst non-kickers. Among kickers, Bailey of Dallas has 108. Receiving yards, again, Julio Jones, like he did in Season 1, is leading by a bunch at 1267. Whole bunch of players with 7 sacks. And we have Rondé Barber leading with 6 interceptions. Randy Gradishar of Denver leading with 93 tackles. Best offense in the HTFL is Cleveland, a point over Tampa Bay. Best defense, Washington. And the power rankings right now, Chicago, Cleveland, San Francisco, Minnesota, and Washington. And with that, we will take you to today's game, which will be Pittsburgh, Washington. If you want to watch some bonus HTFL on PayHip, payhip.com/Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims. We'll have Baltimore hosting Buffalo a little later. But right now, let's get to our game. Oh, it's going to be cold, 36 degrees, 10 to 20 mile per hour wind at FedEx Field just outside of D.C. And we'll get our game started. Should be a good one. It's going to be Ben Roethlisberger and Sonny Jurgensen dueling. I will play as Washington since they are the home team. The coin flip goes Washington's way. We'll defer. They will be in the burgundy colors over here on the right. Pittsburgh in white on the left. Woodson, Chandnois, and Dudley all back deep. And it's going to be Woodson taking it at about the 5. He moves it up 13 yards to the 18. Offensively, here are your starters for Pittsburgh. The numbers I read off are receiving numbers in the skill positions. It's Bettis, Johnson, the 2 running backs. Johnson had a big day against whoever they played last week. Brown and Ward, I think it was Buffalo. Brown and Ward are your wideouts, both 10s. Miller is a 6 tight end. Roethlisberger, your quarterback. Now when I read off the offensive line, they're blocking numbers. Kolb is an 8, Fenica a 10, Webster a 10, DeCastro an 8, Jackson an 8. And we'll see what Pittsburgh does on first down. Looking to tie Washington for the lead in the East Division. And that was an incomplete pass, looking for Antonio Brown. Defensively for Washington, and these are defender numbers. Mann a 9, Manley an 8, Butts is an 8, Talbert is an 8. That's your front four. Hamburger a 10, N, not M, in that third letter. Slavinsky an 8. We'll see him on the offensive line later. And Arrington is an 8. Your defensive backfield, Green and Bailey a 9 and an 8. Houston and Williams a 10 and a 7. So look for Pittsburgh to go to their tight ends and try to exploit the free safety. Another incomplete pass. Looking for Zach Miller, so Big Ben is going to start 0 for 2. Recently retired, of course. 3rd and 10 at the 18, and unlike Tom Brady, he has stayed retired. 4-yard gain to War, but that's way short of the first by 6 yards. So Jimmy Orr coming in to punt right behind the 10. And this is taken. No, it's taken by nobody. It rolled dead at the 27. Washington going into the wind in the first quarter and then again in the fourth, so they'll have the wind advantage, which is nothing to sneeze at. It's 10 to 20 miles per hour. For Washington, Davis and Bossler, 3 receivers out of the backfield. Monk and Clark, 10 and 9. Cooley is a 7. He's the tight end. The blocking numbers for the O-line, Jurgensen, your quarterback out of Virginia. Jacoby is a 9. Grimm a 10. House is a 9. Slavinsky an 8. And Samuels is an 8. And I'm just going to get it started. The old John Madden, get the blood going. Just run a simple running play. And Davis picking up 5. Donnie Shell on the tackle for Pittsburgh. Their defensive lineup, and it's a good one. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 10s in it. Greenwood a 9, Haywood an 8. Green is a 10, that's Mean Joe Green. And Hampton is an 8. Ham is a 10, Lambert is a 10, Porter is a 9. Woodson a 10, Blunt a 9, Palomalu a 10, Shell is a 10. On 2nd and 5, we'll go to Bossler. And Bossler picking up 2, tackled by Hayward. 3rd and 3, we'll bring the 3rd receiver in, which is Charlie Taylor. And we'll tell you who guards him in just a moment. And we're going to go his way on a hitch. But incomplete. Dudley came in as the 5th defensive back, the nickel back. 4th and 3, and Eddie LeBaron in to punt. The diminutive quarterback, who when Doug Flutie made the pros, everybody was comparing him to Eddie LeBaron. Punt went 42 yards. Brown on the return, it went 2, so the net 40. So each team has had a possession, which the NFL is talking about having for at least postseason overtime games. Each team getting 1 possession, 1st and 10 at the 26. And a fumble by Bettis, and Washington picks it up. Slavinsky not too busy to pick up that fumble, and it's 1st and 10 at the 26. And one of my mottos is if you get a turnover, you make the opposing team pay for it. Play action long pass to Gary Clark on 1st and 10. And he's open. That's 6 points. Touchdown, Commanders. So just like that, it's 6-0. And your point after, good, by Aguirre. It's 7-0 with 11:48 to go. And Woodson again back deep for Pittsburgh. Taking about the 1 or 2. They'll say the 1. And Albin made the tackle on him. 20-yard return. And the kick was by Dustin Hopkins. 1st and 10. At the 21, we'll see what Pittsburgh can do.
False start. Offense. Number 65. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
Your Recording date, by the way, March 28, 2022. They are talking about one of two proposals for overtime in the NFL. One would be each team gets a possession, and that could be the rule for just the postseason only. First and 15 will run this play, or they could use it in regular season games. And here's Hines Ward. He breaks free on a slant for 28 yards. Arrington collared him down, and it's all of a sudden first and 10 at the 44. Another rule that they are talking about is if the teams trade touchdowns, the team that gets the equalizing score has to go for two. So if one team scores, they could kick a 1 or a 2. They could go for 1 or go for 2. But if the second team to get the ball scores a touchdown, then they have to go for 2, which I personally do not like. Second and 10 at the 44. They could, I don't think that should be a rule. That's another completion. The Brown Green on the tackle. First and 10 for. I didn't like it when college football forced the teams to go for 2 after the third overtime. Let the coaches decide when to go for 2 and when the game is supposed to end or when it isn't. If they keep trading sevens back and forth, and that's okay with both coaches. I know they probably put it in for TV. An incomplete pass to Miller, by the way. Second and 10 at the 38. Let the coaches decide when they have had enough. And I think this is my same philosophy for the NFL, requiring a team to go for 2. I'm not a big fan. I wasn't a big fan of it when they put it in college football. Of course, they just changed the 2-point rules again last season. Third and 10 at the 38. And that's an incompletion to Hines Ward, and Jimmy Orr coming on to kick. I'll watch for a fake punt. Big Ben has started 3 for 9, and the ball rolls out of bounds at the 8. So that's where Washington will start. Stephen Davis, trap left. I'm not for anything that requires a game to end at a given point. That's, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Pick up a 3 for Davis. Second and 7. And I know that there were some ridiculous games when they implemented the overtime system in the college football in the 90s, but the coaches decided that way. Screen to Davis. That's incomplete. I tend to be a traditionalist when it comes to sports. People were upset because there was a game in the NBA in the 50s where both teams scored under 20 points in a game. There was a game in college basketball between Temple and Tennessee where there wasn't even 20 points scored combined in a game. But if that's the way they want to play it, then, that should be okay. Hitch to Pauly, third and 7. Gain of 16. Which I guess is why I don't like Major League Baseball speeding up extra innings by putting a gross runner at second. Or the last man to be retired in the 9th has to be the runner at second base unless you pinch hit for him. That's a completion to Pauly. Polamalu on the stop, a gain of 16. Trap right, Davis. Oh, short tight, so we're going to go over and go to Monk on a fly. And he's got it. A nice gain for Monk. That puts him over 1,000 on the season. And Jurgensen 2 for 4. 42 yards and a touchdown already. Monk going over the 1,000 mark on his 59th catch of the season. First and 10 at the 45. Trap left. And a gain of 4. That's for Davis. Blunt on the tackle. We'll go Taylor on a quick slant. And he's got it. Perfect timing there. Gain of 9. The nickelback Dudley made the tackle. First and 10 at the 42. Trap left Davis. Gain of 4. But say the second team scores If they go with this new system where each team gets a possession, if you're the team that gets the ball second, and then you give the other team a chance at the ball to win the game, wouldn't you want to go for two? I mean, that gives you incentive to go for two. So that was a gain of 4 for Davis, just recapping as I go off on my tangent. Lambert on the tackle there. Trap left. And Davis getting loose. He gains 13 more. He's up to 29 yards on 5 carries. And I would love to see them implement an overtime system where each team gets possession of the ball. Because that great game in the divisional playoff round between Kansas City and Buffalo, where they were just going bananas last few minutes of the game. Probably one of the best games I've seen in a long time, including that Rams-Bucks game, where the Bucks lose and we thought we were going to lose Tom Brady for a bit. 1st and 10 at the 25. Looking for Gary Clark on the medium hitch, and he got him. And Clark goes over 1,000 on the season. That was his 62nd catch. So you had 2 guys go over 1,000 yards receiving for the Commanders. 1st and 10. I hope I haven't been saying Redskins. I probably have. 1st and goal at the 9. Bossler, just to give Davis a little bit of a rest. And he will pick up 3. That is his 2nd carry for 5 yards. 3:01 left. Opening quarter. It's 7-0. The big thing in the news right now, and I could talk about it because it ain't political. We're going to go short hitch to Monk. Is last night on the Oscars, Chris Rock made a joke and Will Smith came out of his seat, went on stage and slapped Chris Rock. Come on, folks, that's a work. That's a serious work. But it's all everybody is talking about right now instead of the situation in the Ukraine. I just think it's silly. I'll tackle right. Bossler again, 3rd and goal. And Stauntner making the tackle. On the 12th play of the drive there, right off tackle. It's 4th and goal at the 3. We'll kick the field goal. Chip shot. Whoop. Nope. I don't want to fake. I want to kick the field goal. Hopkins nails it from 20, and it's 10-0. Minute 36 to go. And Woodson again back deep for Pittsburgh. They're in a bit of a hole here. And Woodson took it either the 1 or the 2. They say it was a 2. And Barney made the tackle, Barni, on Woodson after a return of 20. We have Bettis under center, and I'm going to key on him. And he threw to somebody. Tipped by Bailey, no catch. Intended for Ward. Well, that's what happens when you have your running back throw the ball. A minute 26 left. 2nd and 10 from the 22. And that is Johnson. Got hit by Manley, broke free. Hamburger made the stop. So he was a hamburger helper. 3rd and 4 at the 28. Roethlisberger can't convert again on 3rd down. And with 32 seconds left, Pittsburgh will punt to Washington, who's looked pretty good this season, off to a 9-3 start. Crowder slipped 1 tackle, but Everett finally got to him. 24 seconds left in the opening quarter. Washington's been running the ball very well, so for the final play of the quarter, we'll have Davis go trap right. And that is an injury to Davis. He tweaked his knee. He is out for the game. And Larry Brown is going to come in. So it wasn't the final play of the quarter after all. This season he's only had 5 carries for 6 yards and 3 catches for 32. So he will get extensive use. And we're going to go to him on 2nd and 10. Pittsburgh playing an unknown 4-3. And Brown will get back to the line, gains a yard. And that will definitely do it for the first quarter. We chatted a good deal, haven't we? 19 minutes, though I did have to set up the game a little bit and give you the standings recap and the league leaders. 3rd and 9 as we start this second quarter. 10-0 Commanders, 18 plays for Washington, 123 yards, 10 of the plays runs. For Pittsburgh, 13 plays, 56 yards, 11 of them passes, only 2 were rushes. So let's see what Jurgensen can do here on 3rd and 9. I'm going to go Pauly on the short hitch. Look for the tight end, 47. Instead, it was dumped to Brown. Brown scrambled, but Jack Ham got him short of the first. Needed 9, got 6. So LeBaron in the punt, and he's punting with the wind now. And a good kick. Antonio Brown fair caught it at the 6. He had to back up several yards. So Pittsburgh in a hole. They're 94 yards away from Paydirt. Trailing 10-0. 14-14 left to go till halftime. And Roethlisberger threw it, but it was tipped by Talbert. And it's 2nd and 10 from the 6. Final 4 set. Gain of 7. Duke and North Carolina will be in one game. I believe Kansas and Villanova is the other game. Haven't really followed college basketball that much this year. So that was Roethlisberger to Ward, gain of 7, Champ Bailey on the tackle. 3rd and 3 for the Steelers. And this is Bettis and the bus picking up 8. Only his 2nd carry of the game. You think Pittsburgh would utilize their running game good. It was good in last week's game that I did on PayHip with Buffalo. They both Johnson and Bettis got 100 yards. Long throw, looking for Brown, tight coverage by Green, and the pass falls incomplete. 2nd and 10, 12:22 to go. It's Roethlisberger to Brown, gains 11. Webster hurt, the center, and he should return in a few plays, but Pittsburgh well stocked in that center position. Dermontti Dawson coming in. Why did I say Dimitri? Well, anyway, 1st and 10 at the 32, and we have a marker.
False start. Offense. Number 84, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
That is Brown called for the false start. I think no, it's the 2nd penalty we have had in this game. We haven't had too many because I turned the penalties down 50% in Season 2. They were a problem in Season 1. 1st and 5 at the 27. You have very skilled players who probably wouldn't commit as many penalties. Roethlisberger looking for Miller, incomplete. Roethlisberger off to a terrible start. 5 for 16, 68 yards. 2nd and 15, and another pre-whistle.
Offense.
Pre-snap.
Number 55,
Whistle.
5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
They get cold for a false start. Some John going on with the Pittsburgh offensive line and the officiating crew. 2nd and 20 now from the 22. Incomplete. It's now 3rd and 20. 12:04 left until halftime. And Bettis catches a pass, and it's a gain of 4, but that's way short of the first down. They needed 20. They only get 4. So 4th and 16. Jimmy Orr punting to Crowder. And Crowder found a crowd, returned it 8 yards, a tackle by Jack Ham. Punt went 38, so the net was 30. 1st and 10 at the 44. Sweep left Larry Brown. And Brown will pick up 7. Larry Brown, let's profile him real quick, out of Kansas State. Played for the late, great Vince Lombardi the first year and only year as it wound up being that Lombardi was coaching the Redskins. 2nd and 3. And I'm going to go long sluggo to Clark. And that's an incompletion. Jurgensen tried to throw it underneath to Brown instead. We're going to go Brown's way as a plan here on 3rd and 3 with the screen. Incomplete. So 4th and 3, and Washington will punt. They're going to try to shoehorn the Steelers in here with a sideline punt. And it did turn over for LeBaron. It's a nice punt. Down at the 7. So 1st and 10 from the 7 for Pittsburgh. And again, they have miserable field position on a 36-degree day with the wind blowing in their faces 10 to 20. That could not be pleasant. 1st and 10 from the 7. And that is Miller gaining 13. 1st and 10 from the 20. Roethlisberger now 7 of 19, 85 yards. A throw to Brown, and he's got that one. A gain of 12, a tackle by Green. A sunny day, but a windy day here in the suburbs of Washington, D.C. 1st and 10 at the 32. And this is John Henry Johnson, who had a good game against Buffalo last week on our pay-hip game. Gain of 6. It is 2nd and 4 at the 38. We'll have Buffalo and Baltimore on our pay-hip game that will be available late tonight. Right now, it's a 2nd and 4 from the 38 for the Steelers. Looking to get back in the game, trailing 10. Nice catch there by Brown, 25 yards. And Green made the tackle, or kind of made the tackle and pushing him out of bounds at the same time. So Pittsburgh on the move. They're at the Washington 37 now. The give is to Bettis. Bettis will pick up 2. Manley on the stop. 2nd and 8 from the 35. It's Roethlisberger looking to throw. Dump to Bettis. And for some bizarre reason, they have Antonio Brown in the game. And Roethlisberger is at split end. Okay. I'm going to watch for the run, but play zone on 3rd and 8. They give it to Brown. He swept right, got back to the line, and that is it. 4th and 8 at the 35. This would be a 52-yard field goal, but Pittsburgh brings the punting team of Jimmy Orr out. And this could be a waste. Well, it turned out not to be.
Offsides. Defense. 5-yard penalty.
Bailey gets called for offside, so that could be a field goal now opportunity. 47 yards. Gary Anderson puts it through. So that was a costly penalty for the Commanders and turns a 10-0 game into a 10-3 game. 5:23 left until halftime. He returned team for Washington. James, Signs, Williams. And this is going to go 5 yards deep in the end zone, so that's obviously got to be a touchback. So Davis is out of the game. Brown will be your tailback for the remainder of the game. We're going to sweep it left his way. And that's a gain, a fumble maybe. And Monk recovered it for Washington. A good scramble for the ball there. Monk recovered it, and in total, the play gained 1 yard. 5:15 now left. I'm going to go to Bossler on the off-tackle run. This will be his 4th carry, and he gained 5, so he's up to 13 yards. As a team, Washington has 13 carries and 51 yards. 3.9. Washington only 5. They've only rushed the ball 5 times for 16 yards, and they've gained 3.2 a clip. 3rd and 4. I'm going to look to Pauly on a short cross. Look for 47. Not there. Incomplete. And Jurgensen struggling in the windy conditions. He's 6 for 12. And Big Ben is 10 for 23. LeBaron with that wind behind him. This should be a kick into the stratosphere. Instead, it goes 45 yards. And Brown made the fair catch. 1st and 10 at the 29. 3:52 to go. And that is a catch by Ward for 14. 1st and 10 at the 43. And this is Johnson. Arrington bringing him down for a 3-yard loss. Not going to call a timeout here, but I'll let Pittsburgh call a timeout if they want to. 2nd and 13 from the 40, and Roethlisberger back to throw, fires a bullet to Miller, but it's incomplete. Maybe a little too much Tabasco sauce on that. And on 3rd and 13, you know Big Ben's going to pass again, and it's an incompletion. Washington had a lot of DBs in the defensive backfield, played it nicely. 4th and 13, or out to punt. Should land inside the 20. We'll let Crowder return it. And he returned it 3 yards. The punt went 40. So the net was 37. 2:29 left to go until halftime. It's a 10-3 game. We'll go back to Brown. Pittsburgh crowding the box. Gain of 4. Looked like they had, 8 in the box. It was a gain of 4. We'll go to the 2-minute warning. It's Washington 10, Pittsburgh 3. Washington 3 timeouts, the Steelers 3 timeouts, and they each have their challenge. You get one challenge in the HTFL, and that's it. Screen to Brown on 2nd and 6. See if they can set something up here. Brown catches it, and that's a first down, gain of 10. And they will go no huddle. And we'll go medium pass to Taylor. 1st and 10 against 37. And that's a catch, a gain of 13. Moving it to midfield on the HTFL logo. And Washington uses their first timeout. They will have 2 left. We're going to go back to a screen to Brown on 1st and 10 from the 50. And that is a gain of 7. Donnie Shell on the tackle. And Washington on the move. Medium slant to Clark with 1:16 to go now in the half. And that's a nice catch for him. Gain of 16. We had that Washington-Baltimore game. I believe it was on PayHip. It was the Tuesday game on PayHip. 1st and 10 at the 27. And again, Jurgensen's going to call timeout with 44 seconds to go. I'm going to look to Pauly on a short out. We got to use the sidelines now. Incomplete, deflected by Pauly. Slant to Monk. Just to cross him up a little bit. Gain of 16. Again, Washington goes no huddle. They have 34 seconds and they want to save that last timeout. Fade to Monk on 1st and 10 from the 11. But it's not there. An incompletion. 19 seconds to go. Short pass to Brown. Instead, Jurgensen goes for Monk, an incompletion. Jurgensen now 11 for 20. 153. Well, it's 3rd and 10. So either way you slice it, this is probably going to be the penultimate play of the half. I'm going to go hitch to Pauly. We'll use the middle of the field. Incomplete. 10 seconds to go. And Hopkins in to try a 28-yard field goal to make it 13-3. Bingo. And that only took 3 seconds of time. So with 7 seconds left in the half, we'll squib kick it. And Woodson will return it. 14 yards. That's it for the first half. Your score, Washington 13, Pittsburgh 3, and I'll be back in 60 seconds. You're watching the Big Pauly's World of Sports Sims YouTube channel. you like the video you're watching, feel free to use the Amazon link provided. I'll put it in the description down below. And welcome back, everybody. This is the 61st Season 2 game we have done on YouTube, or I have done. There's that mouse in my pocket again. It's 13-3, Commanders at the half. And they will get the ball to start the second half. Pittsburgh has been struggling offensively, 155 yards. Roethlisberger, 11 of 26 for 142. Is my microphone? Okay, it's good. It's good. I just had to see myself on camera. Only 6 rushes. Washington, on the other hand, 35 plays, 208 yards, 21 passes. Jurgensen, 11 for 21, 153. And Big Ben is 11 out of 26. And James, back deep for the Commanders. He took it about the 1 or the 2, chugging it upfield nicely. A 34-yard return out to the 36. So 1st and 10 for Washington. They don't have their best tailback in. They have Larry Brown. So that changes their strategy a little bit. We're going to sweep them to the right side. Washington would love nothing better but to play smash mouth. Greenwood walking off. One of the defensive ends. His return doubtful. So Ernie Stautner, as we often see in Washington games, enters from Boston College. A great defensive coordinator later in life. And it's 2nd and 4. We'll go Bossler on the dive. Pittsburgh with 8 in the box. And it's a gain of 2. It's going to set up 3rd and 2. And I'm going to run Jurgensen here. Sweep to the left. And Jurgensen turns it upfield. It's going to be close. He gains 3. First down. We go into the base formation, 1 tight end. And I'm going to look to Bossler on a screen on 1st and 10 from the 47. Washington's own 47. That's an incomplete pass. Again, the wind really whipping around 10 to 20 mile an hour. It has been a factor in this game. Off tackle right, Brown, and Washington trying to minimize their passing game in the second half. Gain of 2 for Larry Brown. 3rd and 8, they're going to have to throw here. And they're going to look to Monk on a slant on 3rd and 8. He got it. Gain of 15. You just started the 3rd quarter if you queued up to this point in the video. 1st and 10 at the 36. Bossler off tackle left. And that's a gain of 2. Jack Lambert on the stop. Of course, Pittsburgh has a very potent defense, and they're not going to make life easy for the Commanders here. Pitch right to Larry Brown on 2nd and 8. And Brown trapped for a 4-yard loss by Hayward. Cameron Hayward out of the Ohio State University. Big play there for him. It's 3rd and 12. And I'm going to look to Charlie Taylor. Hitch. And not Roethlisberger, but Jurgensen back. Another 3-syllable quarterback. Catch made by Taylor. And Greenwood will not continue in the game. They're going to have to go with Ernie Stautner. Gain of 15. The tackle there made by Dudley. And Washington's going to try to keep it on the inside. This will be the 10th play of the drive, which started with the opening kickoff. And Brown, no gain. Hayward on the stop. I'm going to go back to Brown on the screen on 2nd and 10. And that swing pass was open. And Brown, a gain of 14. Lambert on the stop at the 9. So the drive continuing for Washington. We're going to trap it left with Larry Brown. 1st and goal with the 9. Brown, a gain of 1 yard, and that is it. 2nd and goal from the 8. Brown getting tired. We're going to give him the ball one more time. Daft Punk around the turn of the century. Instead, it's going to be a hitch to Pauly as Pittsburgh playing short tight. Pauly could not hold on to that. It's 3rd and goal from the 8. 14th play of the drive that has gone more than half a quarter now. Question is, how do you finish it? We're going to go Jerry Smith on the slant. Incomplete. Tipped by Dudley, intended for Smith. And with that, it's 4th and goal from the 8, and they're going to bring in Hopkins for a field goal of 25 yards. It's good. It's 16-3. Good drive for Washington, although it only goes for 3 points. They had a drive in the first quarter that went 7:35, 13 plays, 89 yards. This went 15 for 56, but it took 7:49 off the clock. 7 minutes exactly now left in the third. And the Steelers are going to have to get busy. And this is going to be a touchback. Chad Noir gave that a chase, but not to be. 1st and 10 from the 20. Steelers now down 13. And this is John Henry Johnson, a gain of 7. And I want to give you a profile of him out of St. Mary's. 103 carries, 494 yards coming into the game. 28 catches for 221. He's had 3 rushes for 10, 1 catch for 6 so far today. And he's even thrown a pass, and it was completed, but for 3 yards. 2nd and 3 at the 27. And that is Miller with the catch, gain of 7. And it's 1st and 10 at the 34. Pittsburgh trying to get something going here. Throw to Brown, he's got it. Gain of 21. We'll show you Brown while we're at it. Out of Central Michigan, 84 catches for 1132. And he's had 5 today for 87. So that's 89 for 1219, if my math is right. 1st and 10 at the Washington 45. And that's a quickie to Brown. Green on the tackle for the Commanders. Nay, Redskins. And it's 2nd and 5 from the Washington 40. And this is Bettis bussing his way for 5 yards. Slavinsky finally came up, gave him the tackle. 1st and 10 at the 35. Incomplete. Roethlisberger. 2nd drop of the game by Ward. So he's not helping Big Ben out at all. 14 of 30 is Ben for 175 yards now. 2nd and 10 from the 35. And that's a catch for Ward, so he gives him a make good. Gain of 11. And it's 1st and 10 at the 24 now. Pittsburgh, one of their better drives of the game. And that's Bettis, a gain of 3. 2nd and 7 at the 21. Incomplete. 3rd and 7 at the 21. 1:29 to go. And that was a catch by Antonio Brown again. 106 yards on the day. 7th catch. And it's 1st and goal from the 7 as we wind down the 3rd quarter. Marker.
False start. Offense. Number 55. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. 1st down.
Called for the false start. Back up Pittsburgh 10. 5, 1st and goal from the 12. 40 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. Game that's been dominated by Pittsburgh. Not by Pittsburgh, but by Washington. 16-3. Oy. Incomplete. Well, it's been dominated by Pittsburgh's inability to get in scoring range, but this might change here. 2nd and goal from the 12. Brown a gain of 4 on that, but not enough for the 1st down. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 8 as the team switch ends, and Pittsburgh will have the advantage wind-wise. It's Washington 16 and the Steelers 3. Pittsburgh 44 plays, 35 passes, 232 yards. We'll get to the substitutions for Pittsburgh in a minute. Washington 49 plays, 264. And 27 of those plays passes. So we have Bell coming in, Le'Veon Bell. John Stallworth and Buddy Dial are going to come in as third and fourth wide receivers. And we'll try to figure out. It's going to be Bass and Williams coming in as extra DBs for Washington on third and goal from the 8. And that's incomplete. Roethlisberger throwing the bell, but not to be. Now, a field goal for Pittsburgh doesn't do them any good here, but they're going to attempt it. And it's good. Anderson in from 25, and it's 16-6. Just starting the fourth quarter. James back deep for Washington. And I think my plan for Washington right now is to continue to try to run on the inside and chew up some clock. Brown, inside run, random inside run. He picks up 4. Hayward on the stop for the Steelers. I got to sneeze. Hang on a moment. Entertain yourselves for about maybe 30 seconds. There you go. Okay, that didn't take as long as I thought it would. 2nd and 6. And we're going to go to Brown on a screen. And that's a catch. Brown didn't gain too much. In fact, he lost 3 on the reception. So back to square one for Washington almost. Going to be 3rd and a 9er. I'm going to go to Charlie Taylor on the slant. Jurgensen. Oh, Taylor couldn't get to that. Outstretched his hand, but it went by him. So Pittsburgh with an opening now, trailing 16-6. Still plenty of time in the fourth, 13-19. LeBaron punting into the wind. Not a bad punt considering. Went 40, and Antonio Brown decided not to tempt fate. Made a fair catch. 1st and 10 at the 39. And it's Roethlisberger finding John Stallworth, hero of Super Bowls 13 and 14. Gain of 8. Had a big game in Super Bowl 14 against the Rams. 2nd and 2 at the 47, and that is Bell gaining 2. We got a challenge for the spot.
Upon further review, the runner reached the first down marker. First down. No timeout will be charged.
So Pittsburgh losing its challenge but getting an overturn. 1st and 10 at the Pittsburgh 49. 12:21 left. Pittsburgh making a late rally here. And Roethlisberger, the ball stripped from his hands. Oh, it was a fumbled snap. And Roethlisberger got it back. In total, the play lost 4 yards. 2nd and 14 now. Screen to Bell. Actually, it was like a flat pass. And he gained 3 yards to make it 3rd and 11. And Roethlisberger now 19 of 38 for 215. 3rd and 11. Roethlisberger firing and finding Buddy Dial. A gain of 14. 1st and 10 now at the Commanders' side of the field, the 38. Big Ben's passing play improving in the second half. He's now 20 of 39 for 229. And he's surveying the field. He finds Antonio Brown, a gain of 7. 10th tackle of the day for Darrell Green. 2nd and 3 from the 31. Still over 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And Le'Veon Bell with a 5-yard gain. 1st and 10 now at the Washington 26. Ben finding Bell for a 5-yard gain on a pass. Big Ben now 22 of 40 for 241. 2nd and 5 from the 21. A fumble. And it was another high snap. So that communication between center and quarterback breaking down. Second time this drive that Roethlisberger had to scramble in a Chinese fire drill. 3rd and 10 from the 26. So Big Ben's got to bear down here. Passing the flat to Bell. Bell's going to get the first down. How about that? Green on the tackle. Gain of 11. Pittsburgh hasn't gotten a touchdown all day, but they're 15 yards away from doing it here. 8:27 now left in the fourth. It's 16-6. Incomplete. Looking for Buddy Dial. He's one of the two receivers right now in 84. He's down as the right split end, and Brown is the left flanker. Not a flanker, but in the slot. Left slot. And he's getting tired. 2nd and 10 from the 15. And that is a catch for Hines Ward, a gain of 5. Big Ben now 24 of 44 for 257. And that was how many catches for Ward now? 6 for 65. Brown is leading everybody with 9 catches. 3rd and 15 from the 10. 3rd and 5 from the 10. Looking for Bell in the flat. By the numbers, incomplete. But Pittsburgh now will kick a field goal, and now it makes a lot of logical sense to try one. Anderson on the field. He'll attempt a field goal of 27 yards. Wind at his back, and he nails it. So that's the 6th field goal we have had in this game, but 16-9. It's a one-score game now. 7:39 to go in the 4th quarter. James is back deep for the Commanders. And that's a touchback. As Anderson kicked that ball nearly to Annapolis, Maryland. 1st and 10. We'll go Brown on a quick dive. And he will gain 3 yards. Hampton on the stop for Pittsburgh. Washington desperately wants to keep it on the ground and keep the clock moving. Bossler off tackle right side on 2nd down and 7. Bossler picking up 5. 3rd and 2. 3 tight ends coming in. Hugh Taylor will be the 3rd tight end. We're going to keep it on the inside, give it to Larry Brown. And Brown getting the 1st. And this is what Washington wants to do. They want to chew up that clock, running the ball on the inside. I'm going to go to Bossler off tackle right on 1st and 10. So Brown doesn't get too tired. He lost the yard there. 5:18, so the clock's going to go under 5 minutes on this play. We're going to pitch it to Brown. And he will pick up 5. 3rd and 6, but Washington's pretty much going to have to throw here. Clock will go under 4 minutes. Monk on a short hitch on 3rd and 6. It's caught, and it's a gain of 9, and Mel Blunt made the tackle. Jurgensen on the day. His numbers have been improving. 16 for 30. 203 yards. Leading pass catcher right now is Brown out of the backfield for 34, 5 catches. But Monk has the most yards at 58 currently in the game. I'm going to go Brown on a dive. 1st and 10 from the 44. Just hang on to the ball, Larry. Gain of 3. Donnie Shell made the tackle for Pittsburgh. 2:58. So the clock's going to get awfully close to 2 minutes by the time this ball is snapped. And we're going to go on a sweep left with Larry Brown. 2nd and 7. And Brown will... Oh, he forced him out of bounds. Not good. Gain of 2. Lambert pushed him out. 3rd and 5. We'll bring 3 wide into the game. Which brings Gary Clark in. We're going to go across to Clark. And he couldn't hang on. An incompletion. So Washington's going to get a crack at getting close in this one. They would score. If they score and kick an extra point, the game would be tied. If they go for 2, they'd get the win. So ball on the Washington zone 49. Eddie LeBaron will punt deep. Shouldn't go into the end zone. And Brown with the fair catch. So Pittsburgh has to move here. 2:02 left. They have all 3 timeouts, as does Washington. They have a challenge left too, but that should prove inconsequential in these last 2 minutes. See what Big Ben can do. He's 24 of 45. Now he's 24 of 46, as that was incomplete, intended for Bell. 2-minute warning It's 16-9 in favor of Washington, trying to go to 10-3 on the year. Throw into the flat and incompletion, looking for Antonio Brown. 3rd and 10 from the 9. Got to think Pittsburgh will go for it on 4th if they don't get it here. But they do get it here. Stallworth gets out of bounds, a gain of 12. 1st and 10 at the 21. We're down to $1.41 now. Caught by Ward, a gain of 15. He gets out of bounds. Bass made the tackle, not Devon Bass. Bass. Mike Bass, hero of Super Bowl 7 for Washington. Got him close. The game close to a one-score game when he returned Gerald Yepremian's botched throw. 1st and 10 at the 36. Pittsburgh 64 yards away. And now they're a little closer. Make that 53 as Roethlisberger throws to Stallworth. And that's the 50th pass today for Big Ben. 27 of 50, 295. They still haven't used a timeout yet. A minute 25. So that's going to give Big Ben a lot of options down the stretch. Penalty.
Roughing the passer. Defense.
Oh, a big one.
65, 15-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
Dave Butts adds 15 yards to that 4-yard gain. A huge play. And again, Pittsburgh has not used a timeout yet. 118. Now they're at the 34. They've been knocking on the door almost all of the 4th quarter. That pass to Bell incomplete. Roethlisberger a yard shy of 300. 2nd and 10 at the 34. We have a penalty.
Encroachment. Defense.
And again,
Number
Washington
72,
self-destructing.
5-yard penalty.
Talbert with that. It's 2nd and 5 from the 29. You just gave Big Ben another down to work with. Incomplete, looking for Le'Veon Bell. 3rd and 5 from the 29. Washington would love to get him off the field in these next 2 plays. Incomplete, looking for Brown. So this could be it. 4th and 5 at the 29. And Roethlisberger looking for an open man. He finds one. Stallworth, a fumble. Washington's got it. Murphy with a huge fumble recovery. 53 seconds to go, but keep in mind, Pittsburgh didn't use any timeouts. They could use all 3 here and probably get a last crack at it. Washington has to get a 1st down. We'll go to Brown. And Brown picks up 4. Pittsburgh calls their 1st timeout of 3. They will have 2 left. This is not over yet. 46 seconds to go. Bossler trapped right. Oh, he's trapped for a loss of 2. 41 seconds, and Pittsburgh calling timeout number 2. Okay. Going to go sweep right with Brown. Force Pittsburgh to call that timeout, if anything. And Brown gains just a yard. Hayward making his 10th tackle of the day. Pittsburgh calls its last timeout. Ball is at the... I was thinking about letting Jurgensen take a safety. If I was 10 yards closer, I'd probably try that. Okay. LeBaron to punt, and don't get it blocked. Taken by Brown. The punt went 43. He made a fair catch. So it's down to this. 26 seconds left. Pittsburgh with no timeouts and one last crack at it. 1st and 10 from the 38. And Roethlisberger is going to go deep, looking for Stallworth, incomplete. Tight coverage by Champ Bailey. 19 seconds left. I'm going to go 4-1 dime, yes, but I'm going to go deep zone prevent. Because the only thing Pittsburgh can do is get a touchdown here to extend the game. Again, looking for Stallworth. And there was a penalty down, but they pick it up. 9 seconds to go. 3-1 deep zone prevent. You just got to keep Pittsburgh from scoring a touchdown here. Fumble recovered by Washington. Bailey recovered it. And that was the last play of the game. Washington wins 16-9. Good defensive struggle. I'm sure the weather conditions had a lot to do with that. And Washington prevailing. They'll go to 10-3 in the East. A lot of field goals after Jurgensen found Clark for 26 yards early in this game. It was a battle of field goals after that. The MVP, Sonny Jurgensen. Your team stats, each team was scored every time they went to the red zone, but they were all field goals. Pittsburgh 70 plays, Washington 64. Washington had the ball longer, 31-32. Best quarterback was Jurgensen, 16-31, despite Big Ben throwing 56 passes. Leading rusher, neither team could get a running game going. Larry Brown, 17-43. Davis played well in the first quarter, but he got hurt. Brown for Pittsburgh, 9 catches, 117, led in both categories. Whoops. I'm not done with that yet. Come back. Give it to me. Give it to me, baby. Okay, there we go. And Green led for Washington, 11 tackles. So 16-9, your final. Washington will still have the lead in the East despite what New York does. They will play Philadelphia in a game that won't be on this channel nor pay hip. Our game on pay hip for today will be Baltimore hosting Buffalo. Our YouTube game tomorrow, Cincinnati and Minnesota. Chicago and St. Louis will be our pay hip game tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed that game. This has been Big Pauly coming to you, wishing you all well, Godspeed, and God bless. We will do it all again soon, Lord willing, and if the creek does not rise. Bye-bye for now, everybody.